Well, if you look at the PNB stock, the stock has come under pressure in today's trade after the bank did report a higher stress in terms of the overall asset quality. Although the gross NPA ratio for PNB did come down slightly by nearly around 60 bips versus the proforma GNPA ratio of the last quarter. If you look at the slippage ratio as well as the credit cost, it is the highest within the entire large cap PSU banking space. In fact, the March 2021 slippage ratio stood at 4.4% and credit cost stood at 2.2%. Their fresh slippages for Q4 stood at slightly over 23,000 crore. If you look at the global margins, well, that has also come down sequentially, and although the management has gone ahead and raised 1,800 crore via QIP, analysts do state that we are seeing good amount of improvement in terms of the capital ratios. However, the core profitability of PNB is likely to still be slightly under pressure, and the ROAs are still seen slightly lower than 0.5%, and despite slight improvement rather in the credit cost, most of the analysts do maintain an underperform. ET now caught up with the MD and CEO of PNB, and he stated that PNB was holding high gross NPAs for a long time, and hence there has been, and hence coupled with that, the impact of the COVID second wave is of course showing up in terms of their overall gross NPA ratio. Their credit growth also did decline by close to around 3% in Q4, and that was also one of the reasons for them reporting high gross NPAs. However, their overall NPA positioning or the asset quality has shown some amount of improvement over the last year itself. COVID has led to increase in NPA stress as per the management. Management also stated that the company is, or rather the bank is in a better position in terms of slippages in Q1 as well as Q2 of FY22, and slippages has also been higher on account of the COVID second wave, and also that the stress in the MSME book overall for the industry is more because MSME sector has been impacted the most on account of COVID, and that they expect MSME sector to take longer to recover, while they expect stress in the retail book for the sector to settle down over the next 2 quarters. Management stated that they're expecting reduction in terms of the gross and net NPA ratio over the next 2 quarters. Recoveries and upgrades are likely to be at least 8,000 crore for June quarter by the end of June, and they have already received close to around 3,000 crore of recoveries, and they expect another 5,000 crore by the end of June 2021. We should be also watching out for how the resolution under the NCLT shapes up. They've already received money from Bhushan Power in March, and they're awaiting resolution for DHFL, which is in the final stages. They would be receiving royalty from PNB Housing Finance going ahead, as their stake in PNB Housing Finance has now would be falling to below 30%, and that credit growth for PNB has been muted so far, and they've gone ahead and taken steps to reduce bulk deposits, and also they've taken various steps to rationalize the overall balance sheet of PNB. In fact, so far they have raised nearly around 10,700 crore worth of capital via QIP, AT1 as well as Tier 2 bonds, and they do not need any more capital as of now. This capital should be sufficient both to maintain their regulatory requirement as well as for their further growth needs, and that they do expect some amount of recovery, or they do expect the treasury book to do well in H1.